Give me another week, baby, and I'll be ready. I'm feeling more like myself. It's not great, but it's getting better. Tell him soon.
I already told him, baby. Jesus Christ.
Okay, who else is hard?
Not a soft dick in the room.
Welcome back to All Over the Place with Corey and Sean.
Burner.
No, we don't need the music. We got music for that. Shane handles the music. He can do all that shit without you. So, a lot of shit's gone on in the news.
Admonish.
Well, yeah. You don't want to talk? Okay.
No, I was
Oh,
telling Sean to give us the music.
yeah. It's way better that way.
Whoa.
That means we can start. He said woo, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I already fucking introed, but we got the woo, so we can go now.
When you're finished.
Done?
Well, that's the end of that's the end of the song part. So
When you're
I've never
you
made it to the end of the song. I wouldn't fucking know. Well, I've made it to the part of the intros, but what the fuck do we want to talk about? I've been practicing about not cursing that far, for once we start making some money off of this. I'm trying not to cuss early.
Yeah, we ain't gonna make money off this.
Sean starts that shit, and I immediately go into it. It's like, fuck.
We get one viewer and we thought, for big stuff.
Yeah, we got our viewer.
We're the big time.
Well, let's see if we can even offend the viewers. We're gonna.
We borrowed 100 subscribers from another page, so we're good.
Did we? Yeah, you're right. I would say probably more than 100 did we get off that, but
148.
I think we're
Out of the 152.
Yeah, 152.
That's the joke. It's not funny when you have to explain.
I was explaining it to him.
Well, I know damn well we got at least 4 subscribers on our own because
We have family members that watch.
I've got 3 channels subscribed to this one.
I was actually just talking about the 4 of us. We all subscribe to it, right?
Plus my other 3 channels.
So we have 7. Well, no, there's,
Okay, so yeah, we're pulling really good numbers.
we've almost got a dozen real ones.
Let's see if we
my
can,
wife loves me, so she subscribed as well.
My daughter.
She doesn't watch, but she subscribed.
Yeah, my daughter doesn't
I
watch.
can relate to that one.
My daughter comes through and likes all the videos, but doesn't watch.
I don't watch them either. I'll play it with the sound off, lay my phone down, and go on about my business.
Like
for the
me
day.
with the wife, I just
that
said,
last turd.
subscribe.
That last turd sandwich we put out, I could barely get through editing it. I did not watch it again.
What, the cop video?
Yeah.
I really like the sound of him getting hit by the car.
Yeah.
The 5 minutes that we dealt with the video, and then we just kind of babbled on.
Yeah, we did.
That's
Which is, I guess, good if you like babbling.
you're bashing the entire point of this show.
It sounded like if there's a presidential debate this year, what it'll sound like.
If there was an ADD themed podcast, this would be it. So
It's all over the place.
Speaking of that, we haven't even got to what we're talking about this episode.
Keys.
Like ooh, a nickel.
Oh, look at the kitty.
Oh, well, this one I actually wanted to talk about this ongoing thing in the news right now, the Vince McMahon scandal, because, the world of pro wrestling, I know it real well, and this just kind of hits home and how fucked up it is, and it's everybody's finally finding out.
Kiss my ass.
Yeah.
You wish you could kiss Vince's ass.
And before we get going, for anybody that might jump to any
Kind of money
conclusions,
he's thrown out.
hey, I'm trying to talk here. I don't want anybody to think we're trying to take Vince's side on this, but I mean,
You were telling me that he was your role model earlier.
Look.
No, you were the one that was saying, you wanted to advocate for his behavior.
Hold on. Look, 2 things can be true at the exact same time. 1, Vince is a piece of shit, and 2, she's a piece of shit.
Yeah. I mean, that can be true. Nobody wants to take it like that.
Yeah, everybody's attacking.
And the third one in her hair.
Yes,
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
say, well,
But I read the damn lawsuit, and basically it states that she was supposed to receive $3 million in hush money When she only received 1 million of said 3 million, that's when she decided.
That's when Vince fucked up.
Yeah, like let's fight. But realistically, he quit paying because
It came out anyway.
it came out anyway, and he didn't need to.
I'm going to go on record as saying for $3 million, I'll do anything and everything Vince
Yes.
had her do.
Yep.
Vince McMahon can fart in my dinner tonight if he wants to.
Yeah, if he pays me $3 million not to tell anybody about it.
Yes, absolutely. I will gladly pick the corn out of my fucking soup and happily move along with my $3 million.
But yeah, that's the whole thing. Is like
My mama puts corn in her
we're
soup.
not denying for a second that he did what she said. Like I don't think for that she was even exaggerating on some of it.
I think some of it's a bit embellished.
But I think she was telling as close to the truth as she could possibly remember. It's like I'm not denying that any of this happened. Even in Vince's official statement, he didn't deny that it happened. He just denied, like his words were, "I'm not guilty of any wrongdoing," meaning
That's rich people speak.
That's it. But according to like even his official statement is like basically he's saying, well, she was a willing participant. And
I think she was.
that's it. I'm not necessarily saying willing participant might be stretching it, but
What
I'm saying she wasn't against it.
Well,
what no doubt will come up in the lawsuit or whatever will be that he was in a position of power. He was my boss.
I'm
and
a
I
woman.
wanted to do
Very
it,
true.
and
That does have to be taken into consideration because
It's
she
just
was
like how they made Monica Lewinsky a victim.
yeah.
But you're
she-
absolutely right on that.
but
That's a
she-
perfect comparison, actually.
Well, but she
Okay, this is a little more extreme than that, but
was just like
He's more powerful than Bill Clinton was.
yeah.
God's damn right.
But no, she was 21. Apparently, her parents had just died, and like they put all this stuff in the lawsuit, and she claims that she was vulnerable and blah blah blah. So
Show the
Yeah,
letterhead.
he's talking about this lawsuit in the United States District Court for the District of Connecticut.
against the old WWE.
And yeah, I mean, she names the World Wrestling Entertainment, Vince McMahon, and John
It'll
Laurinaitis.
always be WWF to me.
Me too, but
yeah,
I digress. That's
fuck the Wildlife
neither here nor there.
Federation.
But I mean, she names John Laurinaitis, who was the talent relations guy.
And he kicked her down a well.
He's-
Oh no, that's Leonidas.
Yeah, that's the one. This is WWE.
Boom, bitch.
But I love it how it's jury trial demanded. She wants people to she doesn't want this in the hands of a judge. She wants this in the hands of a group of dipshits that couldn't get out of jury duty.
Yeah.
But the whole thing, I mean, she goes on, and she has his texts, and I've read them all, and the gist of it is he's a terrible texter. For one,
He texts like a
Yeah.
12-year-old.
He really does.
yeah, I mean,
I hate.
he'll say dirty shit in his text just for the sake of sounding dirty like a child would.
Yeah.
Uh,
he's a typical grandpa doesn't understand technology.
Yeah,
So he's just saying
it's like I used to do this with a typewriter. This is so much more convenient.
I had a girl for this, but she left and sued me.
I used
I had to pay her a lot more.
I used to have to put these in envelopes and send them with a man on a horseback, but no.
It's like, yeah, try and send a dick pic or with a carrier pigeon.
We do have, as was attached to said lawsuit, some of the text messages.
The text messages
They
that
are
were
hilarious.
attached.
He has an unhealthy fascination with black dicks.
Before we get into the text
That's
messages, for
What's
maybe
unhealthy about an obsession with black dicks?
the people who
You ever
like
heard of a Freudian slip? Because I think we just saw one.
Okay, well, go on.
Go on, Sean.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, before we spend another 10 minutes talking about all this stuff going on, maybe we could state for people who, like me, may not be as familiar with what's going on, what actually is he being sued for?
He's being sued for sexual, alleged
Improprieties.
sexual assault and
Sexual improprieties.
sexual trafficking.
And
Or
sexual imposition.
Yeah, it's
But he's being sued civilly. So
yeah.
under this particular lawsuit, now whether or not a DA decides to file criminal charges against him, probably not. But this is civil, so he doesn't have a chance of going to jail.
Well, that's the whole. Another reason why I'm led to believe that she might not be so fucking innocent in this is that, I mean, if somebody sexually assaulted you, and to this degree, no less,
that she's claiming it.
and passed you around the office, made you the office sex toy, and like pimped you out, and forced you to have sex with a bunch of different people, I would be looking for some way to get that son of a bitch in jail.
Yeah.
It's like I would be trying to follow up criminally on this, not just
Yeah,
civilly.
but
Because his
rich people don't go to jail, so try to get some money out of them.
But no, I mean,
well,
but
that's how they get out of jail.
But that's
is
the
by giving
point,
people
is because
money.
I'm sorry, didn't Epstein die in jail?
yeah,
And he had more money than McMahon.
There was a
mean
little
murder?
bit more evidence.
He wasn't as powerful as Vince, though.
His wasn't just word of mouth.
Yeah.
Well, word of a single mouth. His was
and word of ass.
his
On
was
the
word
head.
of many young mouths.
See, but my problem with her testimony with all that is just the basic action, as in particular, where he shits on her head and
We have that.
Yeah.
In the lawsuit, the specific where it's mentioned.
but he shits on her head and makes her sit there with shit all over and makes, I guess, the physical therapist come over.
As it's stated in the lawsuit, the friend.
Yeah, the friend. But this dude is just perfectly okay with banging some girl who Vince just shit.
Lord.
I don't know about y'all, but if I saw anybody else shit on someone, the last thing I'm going to be thinking about is banging them.
It's like, do you think McMahon actually looked at that guy and was like, "You're in the friend zone"?
Do it or you're fired.
How in the hell?
Wow. That's actually the text. That's not even the what.
Yeah, I had to resize it to even glance at the other thing, and now I can't get it.
But even again with his text, you
Either way, I
can.
can read it.
It's very convenient that she leaves her responses out. That's my problem.
Like, that's it. She didn't put them in there intentionally because I think they would be, a little damning to her test or her side of the story.
Yeah, because very clearly she's not sending things like, "This is inappropriate. I would like to keep our relationship professional." She's clearly not sending that shit to him.
She's not just saying, "Take me to McDonald's for some breakfast."
Yeah,
I
and
don't know how that happened. Sorry, I'm having some technical issues.
That happens. That's all right. If you want me to, I can read the specific what we're talking about.
No. I'm determined now.
Well,
but
determine all you fucking want.
and it just, I mean, again,
If you read a different one than the one I'm fucking with here, so help me God.
I'm gonna read the one I was talking about.
There's
shit.
like 5 of them. I don't know which one you're talking
the
about.
shit
The shit one.
part.
Oh
of
yeah,
it.
read that one because that's the one I tried to pull up.
Yeah, basically, in the lawsuit itself, and this is directly from the lawsuit, one example of Mr. McMahon's extreme depravity on May 9th, 2020, he defecated on Miss Grant during a threesome, and then commanded her to continue pleasuring his friend with feces in her hair and running down her back, while McMahon went to the bathroom to shower off. Upon his return from the bathroom, Miss McMahon and his friend actively resumed the threesome, which lasted over an hour and a half, while Miss Grant remained covered in
Fucking
McMahon's
props
filth.
for that.
Am I the only
Yeah.
person that immediately thought of Joe Dirt going, "I got the poo on me"?
Last sentence.
No, I was just trying to think. An hour and a half with one.
With shit in your hair.
well,
like-
one of them is a septuagenarian male.
Yeah. There ain't no way that at his age he's going an hour and a half. It ain't happening.
He's a genetic jackhammer.
I'm closing in on 50, and if I went for an hour and a half, it would be like an hour and 20 trying to get it up.
I can totally see having to take a poo in the middle of it, though.
But
Let's stop for a shit.
but what exactly kind of shit are we talking? Are we talking about full loaf on her head? We talking diarrhea shit? Flu
It says
shit?
down
What?
her back, so I'm assuming there was liquid.
It is
Like,
so.
I hope he didn't shit on her head and then mash it down with his hand.
Do we come to find out?
Dude's been on steroids and probably God knows how many recreational drugs for like 60 years.
I don't think he's.
I
think
would
he's a big
say that he has some bowel
he
control issues.
Was always apparently in the 80s he used to brag about how much coke he could do.
Well, that's
That's the 80s.
But as far as like,
You're right.
when I was thinking like drugs, I was more thinking of like,
Hell, I did coke in the 80s and I was 10.
but
It was the 80s. That's just what you did.
It's what you did.
But no, I mean, I just
You ate your Wheaties and you tooted your blow.
because there's lots of wrestlers over the years who are like, I don't understand how Vince does anything because he never sleeps, like he doesn't, he doesn't stop, So I mean, I get it, but
You know what's really funny about this whole shit thing for me? And this is coming from the wrestling business. Vince is notorious for carrying a bottle of the hand wash, the antibacterial for when he shakes people's hands. So he doesn't want germs off of people's hands that he's shaking, but he will have sex with a woman he just shit on her head.
It's like, well, yeah, it was his shit, so it's okay,
Like, oh, it was my fault.
He doesn't like other people's
It's
germs.
not foreign.
well, it's billionaire shit.
It's
I guess-
domestic.
I guess billionaire shit. Probably.
It's got gold flakes in it.
You don't know where those hands have been.
Like when we used to do shots of Goldschlager.
Oh God, that shit is awful. And then if you tried to drink from the bottle, you got that little gold mustache on your lip.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. But
But,
he's like, you don't know where those hands have been.
I like
well, I
big
know where
sparkly
that's been,
poops.
up your ass. It's like, I am on a high protein diet.
It's nothing but creatine and cocaine.
God damn.
We do have here some of the text messages.
Yeah, let's see one of the
I find it
texts.
interesting that this one was attached to the complaint, and you don't have the message leading up to this.
But it's clearly
Again,
a response.
Yeah, it's
That's
clear,
what
it's
I'm
clearly
saying.
a reply to something that she put. Now, she may have put, this is the most miserable point of my life. And he says, I love it. Or
But
it
I
could
don't
have said,
think so.
I'm going to do this crazy, depraved stuff that no other woman would do.
That's what-
And he goes, I love it. It could go either way.
But that's it. If she had said something innocent like, "Oh, my life is crashing before my eyes," and he said that, she would have left it in there. It's like
Yes.
it would have been there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Absolutely.
like-
If she had said something like, "I can't believe you did this to me. I really should go to the cops," and he was like, "Oh, I love it. Yeah, I keep.
Oh, I
thinking I'm gonna go to
love
the
it
cops."
when you tell me you're gonna put me in jail.
Yes, she absolutely would have put it in there.
It's like that's it. If it were something innocent on her part, it would have made it in here because she painted herself as 100% the victim in this.
And she's
And
not.
again, it's like,
No, it's not an it's a no.
That's it. I don't think she's a victim because clearly she was star fucking the whole time.
Yeah, which hey,
That's I'm not
if
saying
that's
that's wrong.
if that's what you want to do it. Fine, but don't turn around and go, he sexually assaulted me when you. Like he didn't drag her up to his
like
office.
this isn't the fucking Me Too that she's trying to.
Yeah,
lay
and
it
that's
out as.
that's ultimately what she's trying to do.
I
with the
would
media
say,
and everything.
not the victim blame or anything, far from it. She was probably into some of it. Now, whether that's 2% or 80 or 90%, I have no way of knowing. Only she knows that.
Like
but
either way,
she was into
could have
some
pulled
of
the
it.
plug.
Well, they even said in the complaint that it happened for relatively a long stretch of time. And yes, maybe
I would say you progressively build up to that. You don't start out.
yeah,
like,
him.
Hey,
shit,
I loved your Tinder profile. Here's some poo.
yeah,
like,
that's not the first thing you do is shit in somebody's hair.
Like show his text. His
Like-
texts show a certain comfort level too that I would say you had to work up to.
Yeah, because he knows his position, he knows his money, is everything is at stake here. So if he was not comfortable sending that, he would not have sent that. And furthermore, why would he send it on his company? Because I think they said it was a company phone, right?
Hell, he owned the company.
And the thing is, too, the only other, well, I know, but it was a phone that was attached to the company is what they're claiming.
Well, yeah, he can write off the bill if he does that.
Yeah, but if it was his like private cell phone,
You want to do a burner phone for
Yes.
this shit.
Yeah,
Because-
it's like when you're offering to, produce a bukkake video.
a Pukaki.
This one's just bukkake.
The real
Sean,
question.
would you like to read aloud for the class?
I'm still trying to get over the fact that when he's typing B, it's just a
It's just
capital B.
Yeah, and you.
Yeah.
Well, the U makes sense.
Well,
but
still-
the B, it's like why is it capitalized?
Why is cum capitalized there?
Because he really wants you to understand.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to watch you shake when you uncontrollably cum. But
See, I don't know if I want you to read it as Vince McMahon or if I want Sean to read it as Sean.
They'll go
I,
out of there.
I think
I don't have my glasses. I've read it before. I have no
Honestly,
idea what
I
it's
think-
all one big blur.
I think you need to put one of those responses,
Can I
or like
read
one
it?
of the ones where she does respond and leaves it in there. I'll read the Vince part as Vince, and he reads it as Sean.
I'm down with that. Yeah,
Well,
let's do
let's
that.
see.
Her
Can-
response is
Can I?
Sean.
Well, hold on. You should let him read that part.
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to read the whole thing. It's too
Oh.
long. But
Well,
it-
here,
but
here.
Your
read
reading
some of
comprehension ain't that.
it. Read some of it.
but right there it starts. I love in all capital letters. Clearly, he's responding, and he's like, "That's you,
something
Janelle."
that she
Like,
said.
what's you?
She probably said like, "Oh, I'm a big slut and I love, whatever."
Like, oh yes, Daddy, come all over my face, pass me around the office.
Yeah, it's something
Get
to
some
that
of your
effect.
big steroid wrestlers to blast me all over.
With their watery low sperm count come from all these steroids. And there's tiny shriveled balls.
Oh yes, I love it. But yeah, I mean that's the shit. It's like she's not the victim she's portraying herself. And if this goes before a jury, I would love to fucking see. It's like, okay, she's presented these texts. Perhaps Vince has his cell phone with these. Hopefully, he has these texts still on there.
But the
It's like,
thing
well,
is,
here's what she said.
but see, yeah, oh, he will, absolutely. But see, the thing is, though, is Vince is he's in a pickle himself because the thing is those texts will not be able to be admissible as evidence.
Nope.
Because you cannot prove 100% that it was Vince that sent them. Now, us as casual observers, we could probably.
We can speculate all
yeah.
we want.
They can subpoena and forensically get those on his phone if.
But just because they're on their phone, she could have snuck in his office, took his phone, and did that. It doesn't mean that he himself personally did it. That's what I'm saying. It's absolutely true.
The likelihood.
I went
of that
through, dude.
is
I
pretty
went.
slim.
I went through court and I presented text myself, and that's exactly what the judge said to me. Like, it is not admissible as evidence unless you have physical, some kind of physical proof that person specifically sent it. Because because again, it's a company phone. He could have left it on his desk, and I'm not saying this is a case, but I'm saying
Biometrics.
from
Difference also is this: they're demanding a trial by jury. You got to convince the fucking jurors
Without a doubt
he
that
did
was
not
him doing
send
Yeah,
this.
well, see, I always wondered why people opt for the jury because if I was in court for whatever reason,
because you're going to get idiots instead of somebody. Who
I
knows
would
the law.
prefer a learned man such as a judge who knows how to
Well,
think
yeah, but
not
critically
somebody who likes the
then-
decimal
then-
system.
than a bunch of people
Yeah, but the
off
thing
the
is,
street that are
thing is with
probably stupid.
but with a judge, you have to look at the time of year. Is it election season? Are they trying to send a message? Are they trying,
Well,
like,
here's
judges-
the
Well,
actual
it depends.
thing.
This
It depends on the judge.
This is a federal court. They're appointed lifetime appointments.
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean, so they don't give a fuck about.
Here's the
Yeah.
actual reason.
that in
If
federal
Shane
court?
is going
Yeah.
to court, it's probably because Shane has been
It's
rightfully
probably a
wronged.
divorce.
Yeah. I just want the judge to be like, look, okay, we'll just halfway.
But
My card has some stamps.
oh no,
on it.
but I'm just saying. I'm just saying
not
in
as many
general.
as Casey's fucking hard drive.
Says you. That's what electromagnets are for,
That's what,
sir.
that's what he was just now talking about. It's your hard drive. There's no proof that was him on that.
Called a
computer.
proxy server, sir. But But no,
You VPN people that sponsor every fucking video on YouTube, we'd like some money. So
Call us.
Yeah.
Surfshark. We're not sponsored by Surfshark. though.
Nord, we're not sponsored by them either. And why not Nord? Got their
Everybody
ass.
else.
But no, what I was saying is about the text. Those texts will not be able to be admissible. I'm telling you right now, they won't be unless they have surveillance footage of him sending them or at the right time or whatever. Because they can subpoena through the phone companies all they want. But again, you cannot
And
prove
unless Vince has a security camera in his fucking front desk drawer.
which.
Funny thing about texts during one of my previous
I learned this
court
hard way.
things. One of my ex-wives brought in some text messages, a discussion that we had, a heated discussion, and her lawyer said, "Well, they don't communicate. He's got the text that look here, you fucking retard." And the judge is like, or he's like, so the thing is, they don't communicate, and the judge is like, they're divorced.
That's why you want learned judge. It's like this guy fucking gets it.
But those were completely admissible because I was absolutely going to allow that.
Well, yeah, I mean,
My lawyer chuckled.
and no, if the only way that they'll be admissible is if both parties agree that if Vince comes out and admits that was him sending a text. Otherwise,
Vince is the kind of guy though that would be like, "Oh yeah, that was me."
Like, oh, I was really on that day.
it could. But I'm just saying, if he fights those texts, they'll get thrown out.
Those are
immediately.
fire.
All right, we're running close on time. Do y'all want to do the role play back and forth?
No, you know what though? I also want to instead of that, the John
Not instead of that. I've done all this trouble pulling this up.
Okay,
You're
fine.
doing this. Damn it.
We'll do the role play, but then I want to throw that extra little thing in there because I mean,
That's what I told her last night.
the extra twist in the whole fucking case. Okay, put it up there so me and Sean can role play. Okay, you're in blue. I'm in black.
At least they have iPhones.
That's how.
Yeah.
They don't have that green peasant bullshit.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
Vince McMahon
baby.
texted me in green, I would be very upset.
I would be pissed. It's like fuck you, cheap ass. Okay, oh, this is another one of those that she put in there, but it kind of just backs what we were saying about how she's not a
Yeah.
fucking victim. Okay.
They can't see you pointing.
She's got the flu shits.
Well, no, I'm reading.
It's not great, but it's getting better.
It's like exactly, baby. He's not the only one. Blank called me this afternoon begging to eat you and fuck you with his nice and hard dick.
I love them parentheses.
And hard. It's like, oh, okay, so it's not nice when it's, soft?
Apparently not.
Okay, Sean, now you read. You're Janelle.
Give me another week, baby.
No, do it in your regular voice. Makes it sexier. Do it, bitch.
Do it or you're fucked.
For those that didn't see, Sean physically said
Give me another week, baby, and I'll be ready. I'm feeling more like myself. It's not great, but it's getting better. Tell him soon.
The flu shits. Absolutely.
Yeah. Can't have an office fuck fest because she's got diarrhea.
All right, Corey, read the next part.
I already told him, baby. By the way, Johnny wants Tuesdays, but not this coming one and the occasional Saturday, but maybe I can shift it to Thursday nights. Johnny would like all of the above. And I stress all in parentheses.
Why didn't he capitalize that coming?
But that right there, that actually
The inconsistency is just unbearable.
The inconsistency with his text is as bad as Corey's reading comprehension.
not comprehension. I can
What's the is the double text interesting? Before I fight trying to pull it up, where there's two on one page.
to be fair, it just talks about him passing her around the office. Is all it is. It's not really.
It's only interesting if you have Corey
we're-
read it in the Vince McMahon
She-
voice.
We're at 29 minutes, so
Well, we go.
we're done with the visual aids.
Yeah, that's fine. But the of the last one, the two of them right there, one it killed her case because she's like, I'm not up for it right now. It was like, but if it were normal, you clearly would.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have a problem with it.
His lawyer's going to tear her apart.
Yeah.
if they get on
It's
the
still
stand.
bored out at the moment. I need to let it. I need to let it contract.
I
back
need to do
its
some
original
Kegels
size.
before we.
Yeah, but
we
the
get
whole
back to it.
the other thing, the Johnny in that is the reference
Laurinaitis.
is John Laurinaitis, who's also named in this case.
I love
And
it.
He and his lawyers, in turn, have their official stance on this whole thing is John Laurinaitis was a victim too of McMahon forcing him to have sex with this girl.
It's possible.
He
No.
gives all these specific
It's not
dates
likely. It's
or
possible.
days. Well,
That
yeah.
Vince was not present. By
Vince
the way.
Here's-
Vince was in a position of power as their employer.
Here's from how I understand Vince McMahon, I think it could be both. Not that it's like, hey, I'm going to force you to have sex with this woman, but the fact that Vince is like, I'm going to force you because I'm Vince McMahon, not because
have
you
the
don't want to.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. But the thing is there's a whole bunch of times that she claims that her and John Laurinaitis hooked up.
I do want to put this one on there. Let me.
And
Which one?
Which one?
If we go over, we go over. I don't give
yeah,
a
who
shit.
gives a shit if it's 35, 36 minutes.
I don't care if we go 45.
People
I do. I got a.
People
Sean
like-
does.
Yeah.
He's got an
Fuck
important,
Sean.
Sean has an important appointment after this.
Nappy time. Okay, which one is this?
Going to get a job at the WWE.
Apparently, there are some openings. All right,
Then get on your knees.
read this one, Vince.
Read your last picture. Read your last picture.
means like responding
it
to
means regarding.
or regarding. Yeah.
Oh, regarding your last picture. Okay, because I don't speak 80-year-old text. Read your last picture. You need your panties ripped off and 3 big black checks in all 3 holes at the same time. Jesus Christ.
way up your pussy.
Like, does she need 3 big black dicks in all 3 holes at the same time?
Apparently
Like, that's
so.
9 big black dicks.
Okay, the text is funnier than your commentary, so just read the text.
I love how he missed.
Way up your pussy and way up your ass as far as they will go, but even farther.
He clearly doesn't understand
It's further.
anal tissue.
And the thickest cock goes down your throat, so it makes you gag and convulse as those big black
Okay.
cocks
Okay.
down the way.
You are screaming considering who's in the back of this room. Like Jesus Christ.
Well, I didn't invite him.
This is the worst thing ever. It feels like from the start you're being assaulted, but it makes you come nonstop. Just one continuous, constant orgasm, and just before you pass out, those big black jacks squirt their loads of cum inside you.
Let's get her pregnant.
As you lay on your stomach, the cum is coming out of all your holes. I'll turn you over and jack off all over you.
That's
Jesus Christ.
Okay, who
what
else?
is- what
Who
is-
else is hard?
not a soft dick in the room.
And I was reading it.
But Vince, no, this is the most disrespectful thing to me because everybody knows that once you go black, your family never speaks to you again.
Your credit score plummets.
I got to tell you, though, he does paint quite the picture.
He's quite the wordsmith.
Yeah, he's definitely the worst. Hemingway ain't got shit on Vince McMahon.
Yeah, you got to give it up for Oscar Wilde like wordplay like that. That's poetry.
But yeah, like that's what it is. Like me and Casey were talking about this. He's stuck in his evil, like
Mr.
villainous
McMahon,
Mr. McMahon
yeah.
character that he played on TV, and this is just like turning the volume up.
Yeah.
With his
Up to
1940s gangster mustache. I love that he leaned that far into it.
Yeah, I mean, he's stuck in his fucking role, and he's 80 years old, and I think there's a bit of senility sitting in.
I hope he waxes it and like so he twirls it like in court. Like so it comes out and it like
No,
sweeps.
it's not that. It's just the pencil thin right on top of your lip.
No, I know, but I hope he grows it out and then waxes it so he can twirl it in court
God damn.
as he's up on the stand going.
Like, when you read it
Well,
as
look at it.
man, you realize how fucking descriptive is like, wow. And he is a he's terrible.
Well, look-
Well, he's been writing wrestling
I
stories.
was going to say, look at how much
storylines.
shit that he's written, over the
Yeah.
decades.
Like, just think, like, this is straight Attitude Era
This
stuff.
this is the same guy.
Well,
who,
yeah, that shit wouldn't get by in today's Disney wrestling.
bullshit. Yeah, but this is the same guy who wrote, the Undertaker and Kane storyline, or he helped with it, and he's talking about big black dicks.
It's like, I want to bring your wife in the ring and come up her back.
And then he does the kiss my ass storyline and all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, my God.
Well, plus wrestlers been saying for years that like if you make a fart joke or a shit joke or something, he said,
Apparently, he loves it.
yeah, that's his favorite kind of joke.
Loves
is-
fart and shit humor.
Yeah.
I was
I mean,
just
who
about
doesn't
to.
really, but-
I was just about to comment about how, like, I wonder if he pays his black wrestlers as much as his white wrestlers, because he seems like there's a racial tint, but it
He
sounds
does
very.
now.
It sounds very
He does now. He
positive
didn't
as
used
far
to,
as the
no.
African American gentlemen go.
Didn't
I mean, he's quite fond of them.
Yes, he is. Whew.
I don't know if he's fond of their wrestling techniques, but he's definitely
Like,
fond
if
of
I'm
what
going to
they're-
be cuckold, it's because I want to see a big black dick.
Yeah, like I mean, he wants that howitzer in their pants. That's for sure. Maybe not,
My God.
But then there's also
that shit out because I'm going swizzle stick.
because I wonder if he's because Scott Hall and Kevin Nash always talk about the bearskin rug.
Yeah.
And so I wonder, does he want it? Does he want the ebony
It's
hammer?
definitely, it's definitely a brown bear.
Yeah, does he want the ebony hammer used on him, or on his
No, he just wants to be in the room with it.
office bicycle?
Well, yeah.
He just wants to be the dash of salt at the top of the soup.
And that's the thing that just blows.
I'm
my
the whipped
mind.
cream on top of the chocolate sundae.
But that's what blows my mind more than anything is if because $2 million for him is nothing.
No.
If he'd have just went to her and been like, "Here, there's check for $2 million."
Like, why did he use company money?
Yeah, like
Like, oh, let's give him something traceable.
It's a storyline. This is all a story. You
It's
just
a
got
work.
to understand Vince McMahon.
oh shit, it's a work.
He's planned
He's
this
setting
out.
up for WrestleMania.
Wow.
WrestleMania be The Rock shitting on Cody Rhodes.
About 3 pay-per-views down the line,
It's all gonna.
this is going to be your headline.
because
Yeah.
then you'll.
Oh,
Be chocolate falling from the ceilings and no chance.
The brown backlash.
He's gonna give her an opportunity at Money in the Bank.
Climb that ladder, baby.
She comes to court with that giant green briefcase with the dollar signs on it,
And poop fingerprints all over it.
and she pops it open. It's like, I'm going for the belt. Like,
What?
this would be the funniest work in the history of the earth. if
Oh
that
my
were the
God,
case.
is fucking hard.
The
if
man's
they're
a
trying
genius.
to work to erase him from the history of WWE.
I know, but it's impossible. You'd have to erase 90% of the Attitude Era. Like, I mean, they can't. And aren't they also trying to erase Brock?
they're trying to distance themselves from all of them. Like everybody involved, they fired. Well, Laurinaitis was gone a long time ago. Vince, they like Endeavor or the
He died with the
TKO
300.
Holdings Group.
Yeah,
They got rid of everything involving him. Basically, like you resign, move along, we'll buy you out. It's like they don't want any part of him. And Brock, I mean, they had him come back to the last event, the Royal Rumble, and they were like, you know what, stay home. And now that they're trying to get away from. They're giving him the Chris Benoit treatment almost.
Yeah. Well, I heard
And
they're
all he
taking
did
him-
was ask for some pee-pee pictures or videos.
Wait, what?
Oh,
You mean like piss or like dick pics?
Somebody, I can't remember. It was in there, but it was, they named a wrestler who was also a UFC champion who just wanted videos of her like taking a piss. And it wasn't even anything.
Isn't
really
he married to Sable?
Yeah, exactly. Why would he need this fucking office toy?
Especially knowing what Vince has been doing to her.
It's like, wow.
That's called damaged goods, sir. Like, ugh. And
Yeah. Well, I guess Brock, again, allegedly it was Brock said that she would, if he'd have got a piece of her, he'd have been, or she'd have been ruined for McMahon or some shit like that. You know,
Typical guy shit.
yeah, typical guy
mean-
dick measuring shit. Is all that
Yeah.
amounts to me.
mean,
but it's
With Brock's bird legs, it probably looks huge.
probably. But with the rest of him, it probably looks proportionate. And if it is proportionate, that's still scary.
Yeah.
Like his MMA gloves are 4XL, and just like my MMA gloves I wore when I wrestled are 2XL, and I got pretty big hands. He's
Oh, you
got
were
two
wrestling?
sizes bigger than me. It's like that is some huge fucking hands,
Yeah. And
and
He
yeah.
has- and he hasn't had a neck since about 4th grade.
Oh, I don't know if he ever had one.
yeah, my friend and I, we had an entire hour and a half conversation about
About Brock Lesnar's neck.
no, about just about Brock Lesnar in general, because we were talking about, and I was sitting there looking, and I was like, there is nothing short of a gun or a bat or a weapon or something. There's nothing I could physically do to that man to hurt him. Like nothing. Like me
Well,
personally.
even with
Like-
like a bladed weapon, there's no way that you would inflict
There's
enough
be so
damage
much meat.
before he killed you.
Aim
Oh,
for
yeah.
the eyes.
There'd be so much meat just like sticking, and it's like, God damn, feels like I'm stabbing a gummy bear. Like Jesus Christ. But yeah, short of again a weapon or a gun or something like that, there's nothing. Like I couldn't choke him out. I don't believe.
No, you.
I couldn't.
at
I
all.
couldn't arm bar him. And again, this is predicated upon him just laying there and letting me do it. Like I don't believe I could hurt him.
That's
like
not his style.
And that's I know it's not his style. But say he was just like, here, I'll give you a free one. There's nothing I could do to physically hurt that man.
I know what I would do. Ball up in the fetal position and defecate myself.
Yes.
He just be laying there.
Aim for the hair.
I wouldn't do it for Vince though.
Shit on his head and run. Hope it gets in his eyes.
Dear God, you're getting pink eye if nothing else.
Yeah.
God damn.
Are we done with this one?
I think we are.
We need a shower off.
Yeah, we need a fucking shower.
Nice
because-
cold shower. Get these dicks soft again. I'm all hot and bothered now. Worked up in a froth.
foamy shit froth.
Yes.
Do we cut here?
Yes.
Yes. We cut about 15 minutes ago.
Bro, I spent like the past 5 minutes just being like, I'm looking at